travel down that lane.
I'm not a rich guy. I'm just a poor guy with lots of money. I am, no, but I mean that. I've had jobs. I started off my first job, I was carrying boxes of fish, like 25 kilo boxes of fish with ice in them, and I was carrying them from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. at a fish market. That was my first job. I've worked in sales, I was an IT technician at my school, and I'm very glad I grew up in the real world because I think that there's no light without dark, and if you're born rich or you're born privileged, you're going to have a particularly unique experience of misery because you're not going to be truly happy, you're not going to understand why, and no one's going to ever feel sorry for you or understand it because, of course, you're from a privileged background, you're living this great life. But you need to have had bad things happen to you for you to appreciate any of the good things you're ever going to have. So, in fact, when my brother and I talk, often we talk about the stories from the bad days. Our best stories, our happiest memories are when we were completely broke. It's kind of funny how the good old days are constantly being lived and you don't appreciate them till afterwards. But yeah, I've worked a bunch of normal jobs. I've lived a very normal life until I reached the highest echelon of finances. And I guess that's where you learn all the lessons on the way, where you start from a single mother household on government housing all the way to the top, to having companies worth billions of dollars, and you pass through all the different stages along the way. And you see all the different attitudes of the people as you go through it. So yeah, I worked in the fish market for a while, which was fun, but it was very physically intensive, and I was training at the time. I wanted to become a kickboxing world champion, so I decided to get an easier job. I got a job as an IT technician at my own school, at my old school. I was 17 then. I finished high school at 16. I went to college 17 and 18. When I was 18 and I finished college, I went back to my old high school and worked as an IT technician, but I got fired. And then I went and got a sales job. But life is sales in general, right? You have to be able to make people understand the way you think. And I think that's all sales effectively is. It's having thoughts and being able to project them in a way that people follow them logically and want to agree with you or are inclined to agree with you at the end. I feel like there's no light without dark in the universe. If I were to say to you, it's a genuine question, if I were to say to you at the age of 18, when you were carrying, let's say you had a job like me, or I would say to myself, I'm carrying boxes of fish in a fish market at 7 in the morning for $40 a day. And they were to say, Andrew, you're going to become one of the most well-known people on the planet, and you're going to stay in a mansion in Dubai that's $1 million a month, and you're going to have all these beautiful children with all these beautiful women, you're going to drive a Bugatti and have 59 cars, and you're flying private jets, and you have this big mansion in Romania, and you have all these things. But at some point, they're going to throw you in jail for no reason. I would have signed that piece of paper instantly. I would have taken that contract. Who wouldn't? You have to be a total pussy to not take that deal. So, all in all, there's no light without dark. So I didn't feel sorry for myself. I understand you can't shine bright in the world without casting a shadow. And the shadow is where your enemies are going to attack from. And sometimes they'll get lucky and they'll hit you with a side swipe and you'll fall over and you're going to get back up. I never felt sorry for myself. It was the monumental responsibilities I had on my back and everyone else's panic around me. And you can also extrapolate that out towards life in general, where when I was only talking to Tristan or I was only talking to the strong people in my life, I felt fine. But as soon as I talked to someone who was weak, I felt bad. That male therapy is your friends just calling you a pussy until you don't mention it anymore. And everyone was like, that's not therapy, and everyone had a mental breakdown. But if you go to your boys and like, oh, she left me, don't be gay, get over it. Eventually you'll stop saying it, and eventually you'll get over it. But if you sit and you say she left me or whatever bad happened, and they sit there and they cry back and everyone's sad, then it drags you down the rabbit hole. So it's also very important that you create your reality so you're strong as possible. And I believe that your friends in a masculine environment, the primary objective of your friends should be, I like to say to my friends that if I'm with my guys, my enemy feels harmless. My enemy doesn't feel capable when I'm with my team. Now my enemy is still very capable, but they feel less capable. You make money by being perspicacious and indefatigable, and you have to find disruptive industries to a degree. You have to be in before everybody else. It's actually amazing how general business strategy can apply to anything. It doesn't matter if you're running a webcam business, it doesn't matter if you're running a car wash. If you understand the realities of how money moves and you understand the realities of business, you're always going to be successful. And you need to be able to apply yourself and work hard and all these things, the basic cliches that everybody understands. Yeah. But I think in the world today, a lot of business has changed, and I'll be honest with you, I actually think we're entering a brand new stage of how money is generated. To make money in the world today, you need to prove brutal competence, and you need to find a USP, which has always been the case. You need to find a way to garner attention, which has always been the case. Because they talk about removing the link between your time and your money, because if they're linked, you're gonna run out of time and you're never gonna be able to get rich if you sell your time for money.
Right.
But the machines never sleep. And I'm already testing a whole bunch of theories and methods which allow us to use artificial intelligence to make a lot more money than we currently do. And I can give you endless examples of it. I'll give you a very simple example. Let me give you a hypothetical, because I don't want to give away too many of my secrets. I'll be careful what I say. Let's imagine right now I had a sales team. And I had a sales team of 10 men. I would try to build my own version of ChatGPT or my own chatbot, or I'd be trying to make sure that the artificial intelligence mind knows what it needs to know to answer questions, and I would compare it against my lowest salesman, my worst salesman, and see how it does. Because firstly, it's free, effectively. Secondly, it never needs to sleep, and never needs holiday pay. And let's say it's only half as effective as my worst salesman. That's fine if you can feed it double the leads. If you can find leads now at low enough cost, you can make more money from a free machine than you can your lowest performing person.